So there's a number of points to this, but one of them is just fun for kids and families when it gets super hot. And so this park that we're at today is one of the parks that's going to feature our summer sprinkler cool down. So a couple of things to touch on. Number one, we do want to emphasize that heat can have some very adverse effects. And we know this is a big issue for seniors in particular, obviously for our unhoused community. I do want to make one distinction that is a little bit different than, say, a city like Phoenix or some other cities that are at a lower elevation. We do benefit from shade here, so the temperature difference in the shade is obviously very significant. But lots of times people will tell me, why don't we have the same summer cooling plan as a city like Phoenix? And well, the answer is because there's a 30-degree temperature difference than Phoenix, and also shade is extremely helpful. So we are certainly encouraging anyone who is experiencing any issue just to seek shade, but they can also seek shelter, and we will walk through what shelter we are putting available. So as part of Operation Cooldown, services are starting this Thursday, tomorrow, but they're also being implemented over the next 2 weeks. And so I'll walk through some of those. First off, our city parks and facilities are a great place to cool off, whether it's our 20-plus community centers, our dozens of senior centers, or our 100, almost 200 parks and parklets, all available providing shade. We are one of the top 10 cities in America for access to parks, so that is a great thing. We do know that, at least compared to other cities, you have a park within walking distance to you. And so that is true for, I don't know, what, 90% of the population? Correct. For about 90% of the population. Some minor gaps to fill in. But again, we're top 10 in the country in that. Okay, so at 4 parks, we're going to have sprinkler play, and we're starting that tomorrow. So in general, the rule of thumb is Pequeños, when it's going to be maybe 100 degrees or above, which starts Thursday, we're going to provide sprinklers at parks. And typically we do one in each quadrant. And so here at Black Arroyo Park, that is where we're providing cooling for fun and kids on the northwest quadrant. We're also doing this at Holiday Park in the northeast, Sierra Sunset Park in the southwest, and Hyder Park in the southeast. And also we have current splash pads open at Domingo Baca and Civic Plaza. Want to remind everyone we have an awesome regionally world-class spray park right in the middle of town on Civic Plaza. Please come check it out, and as you know, especially on the weekends, it is packed and packed with kids, including mine, all summer. And so take advantage and enjoy that. Also, our indoor and outdoor pools are open, and so they're at low or no cost options for kids 2 and under. Kids 17 and under swim free on Sundays, and it's $1 swim night on Friday nights. We have all sorts of programming in our pools. My kids learn how to swim at Valley Pool. Our swim lessons are jam-packed, but there's still some openings, so take a look and take advantage of these amazing programs. We know that about 1/4 of the kids in Albuquerque learn how to swim at city pools, which is awesome, again, including mine. So the city has also created a neighborhood, an app, so you can find all this stuff really quick. So I don't know if I have my visual here. Do we have our little handout card? Looking around, do you have one? Okay. Anyway, go to the internet and type in Neighbor Hub Map or CABQ Neighbor Hub, and it'll show up where you type in your address or your zip code, and it'll tell you all the city services nearby in a map, and you just click on whatever you want to click on. It'll tell you the hours they're open and all of the information. So we have one-stop shop for city services that's geographic specific to your address. And you can design that range however you want. So it could be your neighborhood, or it could be where you work, anything like that you can now see at your fingertips. Very cool. We've been rolling this out and people love it. We also know heat can be particularly hard on people experiencing homelessness. So we want to emphasize that we have healthy meals, showers, clothing, and coolness available at a variety of resources, including Hope Works, including the Rock at Noonday, including the ABQ Healthcare for the Homeless, including First Nations up in the International District, and God's Warehouse also in the International District, and of course our facilities that are open at the Gateway and also the West Side Shelter. And we want to make sure everyone remembers support to keep cool, basic things like sunscreen and to have a safe summer and stay hydrated. One interesting side note our health department has asked me to mention is that avoid sugary drinks. In the long run, the Coke and the soda pops actually can be counterproductive with respect to hydration. And so it's a good reminder actually for folks who maybe are experiencing homelessness, but also for our kids who are playing outside. And lastly, of course, our senior affairs crew continues all that they do with meal deliveries to homes and welfare checks. And also we are providing tens of thousands of summer meals. And I think this is with the county and with APS, we do this, I think, at 40 plus sites all summer. And so that is all happening throughout the city this year. So with more on this, let's start with some Parks and Rec, and then we'll have some for our unhoused community. So Dave Simon, come on up.
Well, thank you very much, Mayor Keller, for the report and the lowdown on how to stay cool in Albuquerque from America's coolest mayor. So thank you. Nothing says summer in Albuquerque like aquatics and swim programs. And nothing says summer like in the old school style than nothing better than running through the sprinklers. So while it is hot, we want to help Burqueños navigate this time of year, but have fun while we do it. We live here. This is our home. This is, how we roll. So again, the mayor ran down all of the great options for summer pool and aquatics opportunities for our community. Again, I want to reiterate the Operation Cooldown 2024 sprinkler element that the mayor mentioned. Again, we're going to have groups of 4 parks for which we turn on the sprinklers, and I mean turn them on full power here, between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. on days when the temperature is projected to be 100 degrees or higher. We will rotate these groupings of 4 parks for each day that the weathermen and women predict a daytime high of 100 degrees. The mayor mentioned the first 4 parks. The sprinklers will be on in those 4 parks tomorrow beginning at 1 p.m. They'll be activated on Thursday. And then the next 100-degree day, the second group of parks that'll have their sprinklers on for Operation Cooldown will be Briar Ridge Park in the northwest quadrant, Quigley Park in the northeast quadrant, Mesa Verde Park in the southeast quadrant, and Alamosa Park in the southwest. All of the lists of these parks and the schedule can be found on the cabq.gov/parks webpage. So as the temperatures do climb, we want to make sure everyone stays cool, whether it's enjoying a park or a pool or a splash pad. As the mayor mentioned, the North Domingo Baca splash pads and the Civic Plaza splash pads are open right now. The rest of the splash pads will be opening shortly, a week from Monday, and those are at Cesar Chavez, Manzano Mesa Multigen Center, and the newest splash pad coming up at the Westgate Community Center. Another splash pad at the Alamosa Community Center is under construction. All of these new splash pads are due to the initiative of Mayor Keller to bring these lower cost, accessible features to as many neighborhoods in our city as possible. And even more good news about Operation Cooldown this summer. The splash pads are going to be open regularly 6 days a week. So they will be open on Saturdays all the way until 3 p.m. So this is a great new expansion of opportunity for our kids and families to cool down. This is also, as the mayor mentioned, a great time to enroll a child or children or an adult in swim lessons. Learning to swim is a lifetime skill, and it saves lives. Enrollment for our July swim lessons opens on June 15th. And these are usually very popular. We encourage people to look for that date of June 13th, get ready, get set, learn how to swim. Okay, thank you very much. And I believe Maria Wolf from HHH is next.
As usual at Health, Housing, and Homelessness, we are definitely working on how to keep people safe during the hottest days of summer. We know that our seniors, our children, sometimes don't have appropriate air conditioning in their homes, and so we want to encourage all of our families and seniors to use our libraries like they do all year round, but go enjoy that time. We in a cool spot that has great activities for the whole family. Our community centers have a variety of family activities as well. And we just want to make sure everybody knows that our senior centers will have their lunches and they have activities for our seniors and a cool place to be, especially if you don't have a good air conditioner in your home. For our folks who are unhoused, our partners across the city are committed to having day shelter operations where you have a cool place, you have meals offered, you have a shower, you have the opportunity to get fresh clothing if you need it. And so we have the Westside Emergency Housing Center, which will, as usual, have 24-hour access with 3 meals a day. The air conditioner there is working great because we just replaced the HVAC system a year ago. And our Gateway Center, the shelters there are working as well. So the bus system for the Westside Shelter is going to continue to operate primarily out of that shaded area at First and Indian School. So at least we have some sun protection for folks who are waiting for the buses to get out to the Westside Shelter. And then we have HopeWorks Day Shelter that is going to continue to offer their excellent services with showers, meals, and cooling spaces for people to hang out, fresh clothing if needed. The Albuquerque Indian Center in the southeast area, along with God's Warehouse and First Nations Community Health, will have services. Healthcare for the Homeless also has their drop-in center, and that's in the Valley area. The Rocket Noonday is going to continue to offer their excellent everyday service that they're offering. They're covering weekends now as well. And the Brothers of the Good Shepherd will have their great lunch opportunity too. We are providing all of our partners with sun protection equipment to distribute to folks who need it. So sunscreen, lip balm, cooling towels, this kind of equipment. And it's just great to partner with such great nonprofit organizations across our city who are helping everybody cool off. So thanks a lot. They can also, if anybody has any questions or wants updates as the summer goes along, they can check out cabq.gov homelessness and get all of the information on current programs. Okay, thank you.
All right, and with that, do any of you have any questions?
About the cooling centers,
Okay.
when will those be operable, or are they going to be operating soon?
So all of these cooling centers are places that are in operation already. All of these programs are operating day to day. They're just committed to having additional sun protection equipment, and the city's buying pallets of water to make sure that people have something to take away with them afterwards. So it's just an added level of service to already existing day shelter programming.
Any other questions before we wrap this up? All right, well, thank you, everyone.
To add,
Oh.
we can add this in the press release too. There's also 4 places of last resort for folks, which are our health service centers. So there's one in each quadrant of the city, and they're always open as well. But people forget about these, and they are a place of, whether it's heat or housing vouchers or anything, that's the place of last resort. And so they're also equipped and ready for additional summer traffic. There's 4 of them, one in each quadrant. Okay? All right.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Everyone.
Thanks, you guys.
Okay.
So you can add
Creative,
Yes, you got it.
creative use of the disc flying.
Yes,
disc.
that was good.